Hello, I'm Lindsay. I'm a kindergarten teacher at A Child's Way. We're here today to present our slideshow and give you an overview of what your child's year may look like.
I'm Sheri. Welcome. Normally we would do this in person, but in our quarantined COVID world, we are recording a Zoom, and I'm going to screen share here now. We have a slideshow to walk you through our kindergarten year.
So I am teacher Lindsay, and I graduated from the University of Oregon. This is my 10th year teaching here at A Child's Way. My background is teaching kindergartners with special needs at OHSU, and I've also taught in a Montessori setting as well. My children also attended A Child's Way 2s through kindergarten and loved their experience at A Child's Way.
I'm Sheri McLaughlin. I have a master's degree in early childhood education. This is my 8th year at A Child's Way. I also have experience teaching in a Montessori classroom, so that's something Lindsay and I both bring to our kindergarten teaching. And 2 of my 3 children attended A Child's Way from 2s through pre-K. Health and safety. Your child's safety is our #1 priority. A Child's Way is accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, NAEYC, which entails a lot of things, but one of them is health. It's always been our policy that staff and children are required to wash hands for at least 20 seconds upon arrival in the morning, so first thing when we walk in the door, after toileting, before and after eating, when we come back in the classroom from outside, and at other times as needed for health and safety, like if somebody were to cough in their hand or go blow their nose, we make sure they wash their hands. We operate under the Early Learning Division as an emergency childcare facility. With this designation, we're allowed to operate with specific guidelines, bringing children into the classroom for in-person instruction. So it's different guidelines than the public schools operate under. If for some reason during the school year those guidelines change, we will offer a virtual or hybrid learning experience for our kindergartners this year.
Safety protocols. We have some new safety protocols that are in place for children because of COVID-19. The drop-off and pickup will be socially distanced. You will be with your child, with your family, but socially distanced from the other families arriving. The teachers and parents and children over 5, so that is our kindergarten class, will all wear masks while at school. The students will enter the classroom and we'll be ready to greet them. We will do wellness assessments daily of the children and staff, and keep that information in a log for the CDC requirements. And so you know that we're all safe and ready to be at school. Our classroom and outdoor equipment will be sanitized frequently and between groups. We will be the only class on the playground at a time, and the equipment outside will also be sanitized in between usage. And if for some reason there is a COVID-19 case, you will be notified right away.
So about our class, we have a 4-hour kindergarten day, 8:30 to 12:30. We think this is ideal. The full 6.5 hours of public school is a little long for a lot of 5 turning 6-year-olds. 4 hours gives us enough time to do some really focused learning and play, but have the children not so fatigued at the end of the day that they're just checked out. There are 2 qualified teachers and 20 students, so we have a 1-to-10 ratio. We focus on hands-on learning through play and small groups. Most of our focused academics is in small groups, so a 1-to-10 ratio. We cover all of the Common Core standards: math, language, reading, writing, social studies, science, and we incorporate art and music into our day as well. We have a focus on personal and social development using the problem-solving method. And if you're not familiar with that, we handle conflict resolution by talking it out with the kids and kind of state the problem. I see 2 children want the same toy. What are we going to do? Brainstorm. And it's remarkably successful in empowering children to come up with solutions for themselves.
Our morning circle. So when your child arrives, they will go ahead and sign in by writing their name, and we will have a question of the day. A question of the day may be, is there an A in your name? Or where would you like to camp? And they can choose between options. Then we go ahead and graph those results and count up the results at our group time. We may count by ones, fives, tens, or hundreds during our calendar and counting days of school activities. On the 100th day, we have a really fun celebration. So another way that we learn to count to 100 while having fun. The helper of the day gets to receive compliments from their classmates. At the beginning of the year, a compliment may be, I like your shirt. And at the end of the year, it may be closer to, I really like playing with you. The compliments seem to grow and grow, and we love to fill buckets of the students in our classroom. We discuss our schedule and we'll present the lessons for the day, let the children know what we have in store for them. We get our sillies out with a movement song. We sing a lot. There is a lot of music in our program. And morning circle may be a time where your child may get to do a sharing experience as well.
Language literacy and writing. We do lots of reading. There's group story times every day, as well as individual or partner reading. You can see this picture on the slide. There are 2 children reading together, taking turns reading what we call just right books, which are books that are leveled for where they are so they can feel really confident in their reading. At the beginning of the year, we focus on letter sounds and formation using Montessori sandpaper letters. There's a picture on this slide of me working with a student writing a letter in a rice tray. It's another tactile way we practice writing letters and the sounds that those letters make. We have take-home books that the students bring home. They get a book each week. They bring it back. We switch it out. We have a word wall with the sight words that kindergartners are required to learn, and they can refer to that when they're doing their writing. We make a lot of class books with our guess and go writing, and we play lots of phonics and reading games and activities. The middle picture is an alphabet scavenger hunt that we do very early in the year, where the children find objects and then match them with the letter and sound that they start with.
Math time. We believe that our math activities should be hands-on, meaningful, and using concrete materials, being able to hold those materials in your hands. We do a lot of graphing, concepts of more, less, are these equal? At the beginning of the year, we take height as well as the end of the year. And one of our activities is taking Unifix cubes and seeing how tall we are, counting how tall we are with those cubes. We also may do patterning, AB patterns, AABB patterns, and we can do those with really any of the materials we have in our class. We might go on a shape hunt where we study 2D shapes, such as a triangle and a square, or we might look for cones and prisms and cubes while looking for 3D shapes. And we really enjoy our addition and subtraction math games. Looking at the screen from left to right, you will see a child enjoying the bean game, where they're coloring in if a bean that's colored black on one side, white on the other, which one came out of their basket, and recording the results. There's a child playing a toss game where they toss a pom-pom into a tin and record the numbers, and another student who was looking at flashcards and thought it was really exciting to count and put their answers on sticky notes. So we want the children to experience joy as they're learning these math concepts.
We incorporate science into our day. We do a big STEAM project each year. STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And it's usually an in-depth study that takes a couple of months. In the past, we've studied rain, space, nutrition, and food groups. We talk about animals and plants and what they need to grow and be healthy. We talk about weather, how objects move, shadows and light. These are just some of the things we cover in science. We have done cooking projects in the past. I will be a little bit more creative this year in our post-COVID world, but I think we can incorporate some individual cooking projects that will work for the children. In these pictures, you can see there's a pumpkin in water. In the fall, we tried to guess whether the pumpkin would sink or float, and then we tested our hypothesis to see if we were right or not. And there's a student putting his favorite fruit on a graph. We graphed whether you like apples, bananas, or oranges. We did a taste test, and then they got to put their favorite one on a graph. So it was a nice big 3-dimensional graph from our tasting when we were studying the 5 senses.
Social studies. At the beginning of the year, we sit with our group of students and go over our promises. We come up with rules of how to stay safe, how to treat people fairly. And you can see in the photo that the children illustrated, some wrote words next to their drawings, and we helped with some of the writing as well. This is something we refer to all year long, that we're going to stick with our promises and treat each other right. We often will do self-portraits. We'll look at the similarities that we might share with others and the differences as well. We also study maps. We love singing the continent song, and we have a globe in our classroom where if a child says, "Where is this place?" we can go ahead and look on that globe or map and find it and talk about what the weather might be like or who's going to that place. We also talk about our community, that we are a community, but there's a greater community out there that is full of people that have different roles that take care of one another. Some of these are jobs where you might be talking about money. Some of these positions are volunteer, and how all the roles in our community are important. We study history as well, what happened in the past, hopes for the future, and talk about the different cultures around the world.
Choice time is part of every day. It's equally important to us as our learning blocks of time, our more academic focused times, because this is where the children really flush out those ideas that we've introduced during the learning blocks. We always have a block area. We always have a themed dramatic play area. We will offer sensory experiences. They'll look a little bit different this year. They'll be individual rather than the big sensory table that everybody puts their hands in. The top picture on this slide is a student practicing writing numbers in a tray of shaving cream. So our sensory experiences will probably look a little more like that this year. We have a quiet library area always in the classroom. Science materials the children can explore. Sometimes during choice time, we play games like Uno or Snail's Pace or Hiss that reinforces concepts of numbers and colors and taking turns and being a gracious winner and being a gracious loser. You can see there's a student who made his name out of Play-Doh. During choice time, some students, when we did our space study, that are pretending to be astronauts and talking about which planet they're going to go visit, and students who used blocks in our block area to build a ramp when we talked about how objects move and objects that roll versus objects that slide.
Playground explorations. So we get out on the playground every day, rain or shine. This is where we stretch and run, and children have choices such as bikes, scooters, climbing play structures, balance beams, monkey bars. It's a really fun place to be. There is a lot of creative play that happens as well, looking for shadows, drawing with chalk, finding nature treasures on the playground as well. social and emotional development really happens out here. We work on using words to negotiate materials. Oftentimes, a child may come to us needing help getting into play with others. And so Teacher Sheri and I are available and make sure that your child is supported and can use their words to join others and get the help they need if conflict arises.
We incorporate art every day. It's part of our free choice. Sometimes it's part of our academic lesson, but it's also always available during free choice. You see there's a picture here of students painting at the easel. The art easel is an option almost every day. And then we trade out materials all the time. Sometimes they'll be beading, watercolor painting, drawing, collage. Something that's unique to kindergarten is sewing. It's a great way to work on the fine motor skills that students will need for writing. A lot of kindergarten has to do with still developing those muscles that the children need for grasping a pencil and writing. And sewing is a really fun way to do that.
What your child can expect from their kindergarten experience. So we have structured lessons daily. We have a lesson plan for your children that are based off of the Common Core curriculum for kindergartners. And then we also have free choice time where they can have a break from the structured lesson to choose what they would like to do during that time. If they want to explore blocks, if they want to do art at the easel, that will be available during free choice time. They will work in partners or in small groups. Often we separate our groups and have a 1-to-10 ratio. So they'll be in one group early in the day, and later in the day, they'll switch to the other group. So they still experience both of the groups, which could be literacy and math. One-on-one support from teachers is always available. This is the most exciting thing about being in our program is we have 2 teachers. And so if your child has a conflict, isn't feeling well, is frustrated, there is a teacher there able to support them. We go outside every day and we have lunch as well. Your child will bring lunch from home and a water bottle from home as well that they can open. And lunchtime is a fun time where we can focus on conversation, practice our manners, and respect each other. And then again, if there's problems that come up, the teachers are available to help. And our goal is to really build and support your child's self-esteem.
What can parents expect from the A Child's Way kindergarten program? We will have 2 parent-teacher conferences and 2 report cards, fall and spring. We do student assessments throughout the year. We call them teacher meetings, and traditionally the kids really like them. They get to sit down one-on-one with a teacher, and we just assess where they are on their sounds, their numbers, their shapes, so we can really be in touch with where they are. We send out regular class updates via an email newsletter. Homework is optional for us. We've found some families really like to have homework. They like to build that into their family life. Some families, not so much. So we do offer it, but it's optional most of the time. The only homework that is not optional is your take-home reading book. We really want you to read with your child at home. You get a memory book of your child's kindergarten year. We make keepsake art projects throughout the year. And mostly we have hands-on meaningful learning in a play-based and caring environment.
So at the end of the year, we asked our kindergartners, what would you want to tell future kindergartners? They replied with that you will make friends, you will enjoy reading, you will enjoy the teachers. But something really special one of our friends said was, someone will love you. And we want you to know that that is the case. Your child will be loved at A Child's Way.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so you can see us again. Thank you for bearing with us through the slide presentation. I know it's a little bit different. Normally we would do this in person in the classroom, but that's not where we are right now in our world. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what our kindergarten program is like, and we hope to see you in the fall.
We really look forward to the chance to meet you in person. We wish we could be in person right now, but our goal is getting into the classroom and being in person with your children. So thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of our slideshow today. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and contact the school. So hope to see you soon.
Yes, bye-bye.